Hi, welcome to AmalgamNation. This week's vid is on a classic game, one of my all-time favourites, Command & Conquer, also known as C&C. Command & Conquer is a traditional strategy game with one exception. You get to decide which side you are on. Once you pick your sides, the true single-player game begins. Your choices are NOD and G.D.I. G.D.I stands for Global Defence Initiative, and NOD simply stands for the Brotherhood of NOD. As you can probably guess, G.D.I are meant to be your typical good guys, and this becomes obvious when you find out that NOD are labelled as terrorists by G.D.I. Apart from both sides claiming that the other side are the true bad guys, there is nothing majorly evil about them. It's like any other conflict. You essentially have two sides fighting over resources that they want to control. In C&C, that resource is called Tiberium. You mine Tiberium ore to build up your base and to build up your side's army in this area. C&C takes place on Earth, so when you select your mission from the mission screen you will see familiar places. Statistically, both sides are equal, but they have their differences. G.D.I have more traditional vehicles and NOD have some pretty different ones. An example would be that G.D.I have 4x4 vehicles as their basic vehicle, and NOD have what looks like a dune buggy. G.D.I have tanks, and NOD have motorbikes that launch rockets. This makes the choices you make personal preferences. You are a high-ranking officer within one of these factions, depending on which one you choose obviously, but you have your boss too. Your boss tells you what your objectives are, and then you must use the resources at your command to accomplish your goals. Each side has a slightly different story in single player, but at some point if you play through both factions, then you will come across a mission or more that look familiar to you, and yet they are different because now instead of rescuing some scientist or protecting some village, you are to stop the other faction from doing just that. If you can find a workaround for the now obsolete online gaming factor to this series of games, then you can play with friends over the interwebs and see who is the better commander. But be warned, this can lead to real life arguments if you are not careful. As always, remember, play the game and game to play.